I've been a Buddhist practitioner and a wife for about the same amount of time, over 20 years. I've noticed over and over in myself and in my fellow practitioners that the most difficult place to apply spiritual teachings is in the place where you think they matter the most, in your most intimate relationships. When it comes to teachings on loving kindness and compassion, it seems that in our closest relationships, they are the most difficult to apply. Being a spiritual practitioner, in other words, does not exempt you from the ups and downs of relationships. At one time in my own marriage, we were going through a really hard time. I don't even know why. We just could not get along. Whatever one said upset or hurt the other. And this went on not for days, not for weeks, but for months. And we couldn't figure it out. There was, on the surface, there was nothing wrong, but we didn't like each other anymore. One day I remember I was sitting at my desk and I was crying, thinking, maybe this is over. I thought we loved each other, but maybe I was wrong. We had tried so many ways of solving our problems, and at this particular moment I thought, I have no idea how to fix this. And just then, another voice in my head said, begin at the beginning. At the beginning are four noble truths. The entire Buddhist path is based around something called the Four Noble Truths. And my next thought was, oh, that's interesting. And my very next thought was, what does that even mean? How would I apply the Four Noble Truths to my love life? The Four Noble Truths are the very first teachings the Buddha gave upon his attainment of enlightenment. And they are the following. The first noble truth, life is suffering. That doesn't mean life sucks. Pretty sure that wasn't the first teaching of the Buddha. The Sanskrit word dukkha may be more accurately translated as unsatisfying. Life is unsatisfying. Why? Because everything changes and there's nothing to hold on to. The second noble truth is called the cause of suffering, which in this case is grasping, or basically pretending the first noble truth is not true and trying to create something permanent anyway. The third noble truth is called the cessation of suffering, which means now that you know the cause, grasping, you know the cure, stop doing that. Of course, it's not that simple, but on the other hand, it kind of is. And the fourth noble truth is, how do you do that? It's called the Noble Eightfold Path. And these are the 8 steps that you or I or anyone could take to stop the suffering caused by grasping. And the Eightfold Path includes things like right view, right intention, right speech, right action, and so on. So as I sat there, I thought, okay, cool, but how can this help me in my relationship? I thought about it a lot and realized that the Four Noble Truths could be applied quite directly to love. But I want to share with you next what I have called the Four Noble Truths of love.